As we begin, I'd like to invite everyone to please take a moment to make sure their cell phones are silent or turned off. Mi haish hachafetz chaim ohev yamim lirotov mi haish hachafetz chaim ohev yamim lirotov nitzor leshon chamera usfatecha midaber mirma sur merav asetov bakesh shalom verodfehu mi haish hechafetz chaim ohev yamim lirotov. We begin today with the words from Psalm 34. Mi haish chachafetz chaim, ohev yamim lirotov. Who is the one who desires life, who loves their days and seeks what is good? This beautiful verse from our Psalms asks us to consider all the qualities of a life well lived, a life filled with goodness, purpose, and love. It calls us to reflect on how we strive to embody these values and to recognize those among us who have truly done so. And so today, we honor the life of a man who not only sought what was good, but lived with his whole being. Olbinsky, David, or Danya as he was so lovingly known, was a man of boundless kindness, humor, wisdom, love, and strength. He embodied the essence of a life well lived, enriching the lives of all who had the privilege to know him and to love him. Today we celebrate his beautiful and meaningful life and join our hearts to give together, to give comfort to his beloved wife Mila, to his treasured daughter Regina and her husband Ray, his cherished granddaughter Emily, his brother Nathan, his best friend Misha, alongside so many other family and friends who didn't just love him, they looked up to him with so much devotion, loyalty, and respect. Friends, we have lost a great man, a mensch. We have lost a golden heart and a sweet soul. Today we celebrate his life. We celebrate his legacy that he built and that will last as long as all of us in this room are alive, as we honor him. My name is Cantor Vladimir Lapin, and it is a privilege to be here with you and to be here with your family. In the words of Ecclesiastes, a season is set for everything, a time for every experience under heaven, a time for dancing and a time for wailing, a time for giving birth and a time for dying, a time for speaking and a time for silence, a time for seeking and a time for losing. This time of mourning, is a complicated time, a difficult time, filled with many emotions and memories, both sweet and bitter. We continue our service with the recitation of psalms and prayers, linking David's life with the tradition of our people Israel and the eternity of God. These words from Psalm 23. Adonai roi lo echsar bihinot deshe yarbitzeni על מי מנוחות, על מי מנוחות ינעלני. נפשי שובב ישובב, ינחני במגלי צדק, ינחני במגלי צדק, למען שמו. גם כי אלך בגיא צל מוות, לא אירא רע, כי אתה עמדי. שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני. תערוך לפני שולחן נגד צוררי. דשנת ושמן ראשי כוזי רוויה. אך טוב וחסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי, כל ימי חיי. ושבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים. Adonai is my shepherd, I shall not want. God makes me lie down in green pastures, leads me beside still waters, and restores my soul. You lead me in right paths for the sake of your name. Even when I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You have set a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You have anointed my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Adonai, of God, forever. I now want to take this moment to invite his beloved daughter, Regina, to share her words.
Thank you all for being here to honor my dad and support us. If you are in this room, then at one point or 100, you were somehow helped by his kindness, laughed to his wit, ate and drank at his and my mom's table, or heard all about him from me. When I started writing this love letter to my papa, the first word that came to mind was mensch. So I decided to look up the word's meaning to make sure I got it right. And then the weirdest thing happened. I saw a picture of my dad in the description. See? There it is. Mensch, noun. Yiddish for human being, a person of integrity and honor. A good person, someone you really like and admire, kind, thoughtful, honorable. A good, honest human, decent, upright, mature, responsible, having strength of character. It says here, example of a mensch, David Olbinsky, the OG mensch. You know, too often in our society, we're given examples of great men. They're usually always men who have achieved this greatness through power, wealth, or status. My dad had none of those things, but the attributes that he possessed were the ones that really matter in life. That's the best inheritance I can think of. My dad was all love and goodness, with a lot of wit, wisdom, and mischief thrown in. He learned early on that family, by birth or by choice, was most important. To love and care for, laugh and eat with. He believed in kindness, the power of education and curiosity, and knowing the news of the world and the weather. Throughout his life, my dad fought for what or who he believed in and was a selfless, humble, loyal, loving, kind, funny, smart, devoted man. Simply the best son, brother, husband, father, grandfather, and friend. Whose cell phone? During his life, he experienced the evils of Nazis, hunger, survived the Holocaust, fought anti-Semitic bullies and anyone who annoyed him well into his youth. He endured the dismissal and disdain in our early days in America and was horrified at the rise of anti-Semitism all over the world, but especially in his adopted country. But through it all, it never dimmed his optimism or the kindness he bestowed on others. He believed in telling the truth and doing the right thing. He detested people who lied, but still trusted and believed in the goodness of others, especially people on the computer who endorsed products promising to cure any ailment. He loved music and watching sports on TV. He loved Ohio State football because of me, hated that the Browns always lost, and stopped watching any game that was close because he felt like he was one of the players and got really anxious about it. He learned technology, including using the computer and even Excel, online shopping and bill pay, and the true art of mass emails, usually in the form of art, life lessons, or some fake news. He loved opening new credit card accounts to get the extended 0% interest rate and getting a mitzvah at any store, which he would then proudly show me. It was at his insistence that we came to America, sacrificing his and my mom's life for me. It was he who told me that I could do and be anything I wanted, except play sports. He instilled in me the confidence, work ethic, and resilience to get to where I am today. He relished his role as father and grandfather and was proud of all my accomplishments, big and small, and loved me beyond words. I am who I am because of him and all the time he spent with me. I am now left without my biggest cheerleader, supporter, and fan. Some years ago, I wrote a list of 50 reasons why I love my dad and gave it to him for Father's Day. I would like to share some of those with you today. You taught me how to drive, do math, solve any problem, and think strategically. Those skills have contributed greatly to my success. You are always fair and honest. You have strong values and ideals. You give great advice. Ask for my advice and trust me. You have a cute bald head that I love to kiss and pat. You are strong and loving, and you never end a conversation without telling me you love me. In fact, those were the last words that you said in this world. You make the world's best fried potatoes and chopped liver. You taught me to make potato latkes and then accepted defeat as I went on to beat yours year after year. You taught me how to be a good parent and tell me so all the time. You stopped me from wearing really short skirts and taught me the importance of wearing 100% cotton, wool, leather, and a hat, no matter the season. You never killed any of my boyfriends or husbands. You tell funny jokes in Russian and proverbs in all languages and have a great sense of humor and a mischievous smile. You told me that I didn't kill that squirrel, even though we both knew I did when I was 16 and a new driver. You taught me to use hand tools and fix and build stuff, and Ray is really thankful for this. You give me a new reason to love you every day. And as I said on his 90th birthday, there aren't enough years to love you or enough words to express my gratitude for you being the best father, role model, and friend. But I have a lifetime of lessons in love and dozens of saved voicemails that remind me of how much you loved me. When I hold your hand, from the time I was small to now, I feel safe. And when I held your hand the last 2 weeks, I know you felt safe. You knew how much I loved you and that I would honor you and your wishes and live the kind of life that you would always be proud of.
Thank you, Regina. We now invite Michael Berkowitz-Kumin to share his words. Friend of so many years from childhood.
Слезы привилегии маленьких детей и стариков. Если первые плачут о неизвестном будущем, то старики я постараюсь. В 1945 году, в ноябре месяце, после эвакуации, мы вернулись в Киев. В дом, где мы жили до войны. И там судьба свела меня с Даней. Я пошел в 1 класс, а он 4. И вот так наши жизненные пути и биография слилась воедино. Сейчас я успокоюсь немножко, прошу прощения. Типичная биография ребят промышленных районов Киева, школа, армия, освоение профессий, люди, опыт, свадьбы, дети, эмиграция. Как в этих коротких словах помещается вся долгая жизнь. Встречами, расставаниями, достижениями, потерями, вот, в коротком слове «жизнь». Мы жили в очень большом многоквартирном доме. Этот дом представлял собой новую социалистическую общность. И заселили ее в 1935 году, эту общность, дети 14, 15, 16 лет, которых собирали по Украине, сирот, беспризорников. И они составляли основу фабрики, которую построила Америка в 1929 году и сдала ее под ключ. Мы с Данечкой знали всех жильцов этого большого дома. И по прошествии многих лет, уже будучи в Америке, мы часто встречались, и наши встречи всегда были полны воспоминаний всех тех людей, которым суждено было пережить все взлеты и падения, все те решения, которые Великая партия ставила перед народом. Среди всех этих жильцов были люди репрессированные, военные, конструктора, просто рабочие и очень хороший, дружественный коллектив, в котором мы проходили свою школу жизни и, выйдя из этого двора, получили аттестат зрелости на всю свою жизнь. Наши встречи с Даней всегда носили характер памяти тех людей. И не всегда скорбная, иногда с большими, потому что разные характеры, разные поведения людей, и только с возрастом мы понимали эти поведения, на которые раньше, в детские годы, мы не обращали внимания. И у нас создался такой с ним мемориал памяти. И сегодня, с уходом Дани, этот мемориал закрывается, потому что никто не спросит меня: ты помнишь, Даня был настолько добросовестным и преданным человеком, и главное, конечно, его достоинство, что он был очень хороший строитель. Он построил самое главное, что можно построить в своей жизни, это семью. Хорошая, хлебосольная, которые принимали всех нас, родственников, друзей, на еврейские праздники многочисленные. Он не был писателем и не был художником, он не был композитором, но он был очень хорошим человеком. А это звание очень редкое, но оно действует во все времена и во всех народах. Светлая память ему наша.
I share a letter that was written by Leanna Olbinsky, his great niece, who's in Utah. David, I have never met such a good-spirited man like you. You have always been the family member I want to sit next to because I know we will laugh. You are honest and kind and so strong. In the grand, capital G, in the grand life you have lived, I have only seen a glimpse of the impact you've had on others. I want to share those takeaways I have observed because you've truly been many people's inspiration for happiness and joy. Family is everything to you. You've been through so much with and for your family. What you have done for Grandpa Nathan changed his life. He became a new person, and that is thanks to you. You are so humble. You make people's lives better, but you don't ask for credit. You have been such a strong person for others, and you don't ask for anything in return. You have made so many people laugh, and your smile has always made others smile. You are and have been an amazing husband. The way you and Mila look at each other and laugh and joke is so beautiful. You two built a beautiful life with family that you love more than anything. You raised an incredibly smart and caring daughter who has raised a strong and smart daughter along with helping out so many family members and friends. That starts with you and Mila and the impact you have had. This impact will last for generations. You will always be our favorite person, and I mean that with all my heart. Your smile and your laugh and spirit will be talked about for our lifetime and beyond. I'm so lucky you have always welcomed me into your life and that we are family. I love you so much. Thank you for all your love. You have made a huge impact on my life. Leanna Olbinsky. Friends, the Pirkei Avot, which translates to the ethics of our ancestors, is a collection of ancient Jewish texts that contains short and wise sayings and ethical teachings from prominent rabbis. It essentially acts as a collection of moral guidelines for how to live a good life. One of its main teachings is that there are 3 crowns that a person can have. The crown of Torah or study, the crown of priesthood or the vocation that you have, and the crown of kingship or the power that you hold. Yet above all these is the crown of a good name, a Shem Tov. David Olbinsky, your beloved, wonderful Danya, wore this crown with unparalleled dignity. His Shem Tov, his good name, is not just his legacy, it was his essence. Danya was born in Kiev in 1934 to Lev and Frida Olbinsky, a couple that instilled kindness, openness, warmth, and love into him from an early age. His early years were filled with family and joy, but his idyllic childhood was disrupted by the Nazi invasion. At just 7 years old, he and his family escaped to Kungur, where they survived amidst unimaginable hardship, with limited food and barely any resources. The early experiences of courage and resilience shaped the rest of his life, imbuing him with a deep gratitude for every blessing, for every piece of bread. He completed his education, he served in the Soviet army, and enjoyed life surrounded by friends and family. At 33, he met Mila, the love of his life. Their bond was instant. They married just 3 months after meeting, beginning a partnership of 57 beautiful years. 57 years, what an amazing journey of love. Their love was extraordinary, built on mutual respect, laughter, shared experiences. Mila described to me yesterday how his optimism balanced her realism. She said pessimism, I say realism. How his belief in fate inspired her, and how his mischievous smile could light up even the darkest days. Danya was a man of substance, full of joy and humor. His sense of humor and his authentic smile could break down any barrier, and his family spoke of his ability to connect with everyone he met. His warmth was matched by his intellect. He was a problem solver, a thinker, a lover of history, music, geography, sports, of so much more. Regina, you shared with me yesterday and again today how your dad's lesson helped shape your career and taught you to see the big picture. You credit your success to his immense influence. When Danya and Mila immigrated to the United States in 1978 as Jewish refugees, they arrived with little, but built so much. He cherished his American citizenship, grateful for the freedom and opportunities it provided. He worked hard, providing a foundation of love and care for his family. A man with golden hands he was, could fix anything. Of course, he sometimes focused so much on others that whatever needed fixing in his own home, with you, Mila, and Regina, would sometimes be second priority because he had to help others. It's just the kind of man that he was. Family was his crown jewel. His love for Mila was steadfast. His pride in Regina and his adoration for his granddaughter Emily knew no bounds. Even in his final hours, he waited for Emily to arrive from Israel, showing the depth of his love. His last words, "We love you. We love you," were a testament to a life filled with love and connection. Danya's life was filled with small yet profound joys. He loved birthdays and remembered everyone's special days and cherished sharing sweets and chocolates. His chopped liver, as we have learned already, was legendary, and no one could replicate his fried potatoes, just perfectly crispy. He loved to travel and see the world and all the sights, but what mattered to him in all his travels were the people that he shared those journeys with. He loved people. He loved his people. He believed in absolutes and seeing the best in people and living a life of dignity and honor. Regina expressed it so poignantly to me, and again earlier, a few moments ago. You said, Regina, our society judges people based on wealth and status and power. He didn't have that, but he was so rich. He was a great man not because of material wealth, but because of how he lived his life and how he treated the people around him. Over the past 2 weeks from the moment of his tragic diagnosis, I had the great privilege of meeting him and spending time with him. I will be forever grateful to Regina for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to connect with this extraordinary man. The time I spent with him hearing his stories and witnessing his spark in his eyes was truly special. It means the world to me that I was able to be there for him and his family during this time. And in this short time, as I'm sure he did for many of you in a lifetime, he left an indelible mark on my heart, and I will never forget him. Thank you for your foresight, Regina. Friends, Danya's Shem Tov, David's Shem Tov, his good name, lives on in the hearts of everyone he touched. Yes, he leaves behind Mila, Regina, Ray, Emily, Misha, Nathan, Natan, and a vast extended family of friends who will forever cherish his memory. Let us all carry forward the tales of his kindness, his joy, the tales of his golden heart. Let us live lives that he would be proud of. Let us be inspired by him in all aspects of our lives. David, you were truly a mensch, a man of goodness, of kindness, of strength. Your legacy will endure in the lives of all who knew you. We love you and will always remember you. Yehi zichro baruch. May his memory be a blessing. We say amen. I invite you now to please rise as we continue with our memorial prayer, the El Malei Rachamim, if you are able. El Malei Rachamim, Shocheina Bamromim, Hametzei Menucha Nechona Tachat Kanfei HaShechina, Im Kidoshim Utechorim, Kizohar Harakia Mazirim, Et Nishmat David ben Lev Freida Shahalach Leolamo, בעל הרחמים יסירהו בסתר כנפיו לעולמים, ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתו, אדוני הוא נחלתו, וינוח בשלום על משכבו, ונאמר Amen. God of abundant mercy, God most high, may the soul of David, who has gone into eternity, find the gift of perfect peace in your embrace, together with the holy and pure, whose light shines like the radiance of heaven. Compassionate God, hold him close to you forever, so that his soul may be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May David's memory be for us a blessing, and may we never let the light of his love grow dim in our hearts. May he find a home with you. May he rest in peace. And together we say, Amen.
Sorry, the family car is right out here to our right.
If you're going to the cemetery, put your headlights on and your flashers.
Absolutely. Good job.